madvakahe vyasadasa purna pragya padmanabhagati hari madhavamse akshobhya paramahamse Shishya boli angi karakare Akshobhya shishya jaya Tirtanami parichaya Taradasye gana sindutade Tahoite doyaniri Taradasa Vidyanidhi Rajendra Hoilotate Tara Kinkara Jaya Dharmaname Parichaya Parampara Janabalomati Jaya Dharma Dasi Kyati Shri Purushottama Jati Tate Brahmanya Tirtha Sori Dasya Tirtha Tara Dasa Lakshmi Pati Vyasa Dasa Tate Madhavendra Puri Madhavendra Puri Vada Shishya Vada Shri Ishvara Nityananda Shri Advaita Vibhu Ishvara Puri Kedanya Kori Lenya Shri Chaitanya Jagaguru Gaurama Prabhu Mahaprabhu Shri Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahe Anya Rupanuga Jane Rajivana Vishwambara Priyankara Shri Swarupa Damodara Shri Goswami Rupa Sanatana Rupa Priya Mahajana Jiva Raghunatana Tara Priya Kavi Krishna Dasa Krishna Dasa Priya Vara Narottama Seva Para Chadapada Vishwanatha Asa Vishwanatha Bhakta Sata Baladeva Jagannatha Tara Priya Shri Bhakti Vinoda Mahabhagavata Vara Shri Gaura Kishora Vara Hari Bhajani Tejara Moda Shri Barsa Bana Vivada Sada Sevya Seva Para Tahara Daita Dasanama Prabhupada Antaranga Shri Swarupa Rupanuga Shri Keshava Bhakti Pragyana Gauriya Vedanta Veta Maya Vadata Manta Gauravani Prachara Chadama Pracharilo Gauravani Bhakti Vedanta Swami Parayalo Prabhupada Kama Kesha Priya Mahajana Vamana Narayana Gauravani Tade Pranadana Ei Savari Jana Gaurangera Nija Jana Tadeda Uchiste Murakama Guru Parampara Guru Parampara Guru Vrindavanavasi Jato Vaishnavera Gana Partame Vandana Kori Sabara Charana Nilachalavasi Jato Mahaprabhu Gana Pomite Pod Mahaprabhur Bhakta Sabara Charana Vando Hoyanuyakta Mahaprabhur Bhakta Jato Gauda Deshe Stiti Sabara Charana Vando Hoya Pranam Jedeshe Baishe Gorangera Gana Udbaba Ukori Vando Sabara Charana Oya China Oyi Prabhu Jato Dasa Sabara Charana Vando Tante Korigasa Pamandita Rite Shakti Tare Jane Jane Evira Parani Guna Gai Je Basune Mahaprabhur Gana Sabha Patita Pavana Tailo Bimoi Pavilo Inu Sharana Vandana Karite Moi Kato Shakti Dori Tamo Buri Dose Moi Damba Machakori Tatapi Mukhera Bhagya Manera Ulasa Dosak Shami Moatame Karani Jadasa Sarva Vancha Siddhi Hoy Yama Bhanda Chute Jagate Dolava Oya Prema Dhana Lute Manera Vasana Rana Achirata Hoya Devaki Nandana Dasa Eloviko Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Rupa Shri Sanatana Pata Raghunata Shri Jiva Gopala Bhata Dasa Raghunata Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jivedoya Kori Swarpasara Swiyadham Savatari Atyanta Dolabha Prema Karibaridhana Shikaye Saranagati Akatera Danya Atmani Vedana Gopshri Vivarana Avasya Rakshibe Krishna Vishwasapalana Bhakti Anukula Macha Kaira Sikara Atikula Bhava Vajanangika Saranga Saranagati Hoi Vejara Tahara Pradhana Sune Shinanda Kumara Natana Pade Dante Chena Kori Bhakati Vinoda Pade Dui Paradori Kariya Kariya Boli Amati Adama Shikaya Sarana Gati Karo Eutam Jaya Sarpasara Jaya Gaurari Sarpasara Jaya Gaurari Jaya Jaya Thakur Bhakti Vinod Thakur Bhakti Vinod Bhakti Vinod Thakur Bhakti Vinod Thakur Bhakti Vinod Thakur Bhakti Vinod Bhakti Vinod Thakur Bhakti Vinod Gauranga bolite habe Pulaka Sharira Hari Hari bolite na Yani Vavenira Arka Venita Chane Karuna Ibe Sarabasana Mara Ave Tujamare Vishaya Chariya Kave Shura Vimana Kave Hamahe Ravo Shri Vrindavana Rupa Raghunatha Pare Aive Akuti Atayama Bhuja Vovo Jugana Priti Rupa Raghunatha Pare Aive Akuti Tane Karaye Sara Naratamasa Korangitil Te Habe Hari Bole Nene Yame Bhavini Katinandan Jaya Gaurari Sachinandan Jaya Gaurari Jaya Sachinandan Jaya Gaurari Nitai Gaurari Bo Haribo Haribo Nitai Gaurari Bo Nitai Gaurari Bo 334, I think, is the next one. Oh, no. Yeah, I think maybe. Yeah, 343. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande Man Manasa Madhukara Marpaya Nija Pada Pankaja Makarande Manas Anakara Marpaya Nija Pada Pankaja Makarande Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande Krishna Deva Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande Yadyapi Samadhishu Virirapi Pashati Natavanaka Gramarishi Yadyapi Samadhishu Virirapi Pashati Idhami chami nishamya tava chuta tarapa kripa ruta vichi Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande Krishna Deva Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande Krishna Yapi Madhava Natvai Mama Tila Machi Bhakti Rudancha Parameshwara Tarapatavadika Gordata Katana Vidachi Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande Krishna Deva Bhavantam Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande Ayam Avilolataya Sanatana Kalita Bhuta Rasabharam Ayam Avilolataya Sanatana Nivasatu Nityami Amrita Nindini Vindan Madhurimasaram Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande Krishna Deva Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite 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 Gokula Taruni Mandala Mahite Gokula Taruni Mandala Mahite Gokula Taruni Mandala Mahite Gokula Taruni Mandala Mahite Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite Tamudara Rati Varana Veshe Harineshkuta Vrinda Vipineshe Tamudara Rati Vardhana Veshe Harineshkuta Vrinda Damodara Rati Vardhana Veshe Harineshkuta Vrinda Vipineshe Vrishabhanudhari Navashashileke Lalita Saki Gunaramita Vishake Vrishabhanudhari Vrishabhanudhari Navashashileke Lalita Saki Gunaramita Vishake Jaya Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite Radhe Jaya 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 Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite Radhe Jaya Jaya Karunam Karumai Karunavarite Sanaka Sanatana Varnita Charite Karunam Gurumai Sanaka Sanatana Karunam Karumai Karunabharite Shirupa Sanatana Vanita Charite Jaya Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Vrishabhanu Nandini Radhe Radhe Vrishabhanu Nandini Radhe Radhe Jaya Radhe Radhe Jaya Asta Sakhi Shiromani Radhe Radhe Asta Sakhi Shiromani Radhe Radhe Jaya Vrindavana Vilasini Radhe Radhe Vrindavana Vilasini Radhe Radhe Vana Vilasini Radhe Radhe Vrindavana Vilasini Radhe Radhe Jaya Kana Mana Mohini Radhe Radhe Kana Mana Mohini Radhe 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 Kana Mana Mohini Radhe Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Krishna Jaya Radhe 289. Suchara Mandalam Sukharna Ratna Kundalam Sucharchitanga Chandanam Namami Nandananda Sudirga Netra Pankajam Shiki Shikanda Mordajam Ananga Koti Mohanam Namami Nandanandanam Nurasakagra Moktikam Swachanda Danta Panktikam Navambudanga Chikanam Namami Nandanandanam Shvarena Venuranjitam Gati Karindra Ganjitam Dakula Pita Soanam Namami Nandanandanam Shri Bangadea Sundaram Nakaduti Sutakaram Amulya Ratna Bhushanam Namami Nandanandanam Sugandhanga Saurabhamuro Virajikostubam Surachivatsalanchanam Namami Nandanandanam Vrindavana Sunagaram Vilasanugavashasham Surendra Garva Mochanam Namami Nandanandanam Vrajangana Sunayakam Sada Shuka Pradayakam Jaganmana Pralohanam Namami Nandanandanam Shri Ashtakam Patet Yasharayanvita Taret Bhava Vidusta Avetarangimu Namai Nanandana Namai Nandanandana Namami Nandanandana Namami Nandanam Munindra Vindavandite Triloka Shokarini Prasana Vaksha Pankaje Nikunja Bhuvilasini Brajendra Bhanu Nandini Brajendra Sunu Sangate Kadakari Sasiyamam Kripa Kataksha Bhajanam Ashoka Vriksha Vallari Vitana Mandapastite Pravallavaval Varunangi Komale Varabhayas Paratkare Prabhuta Sampadalaye Karakari Sasiyamam Kripa Kataksha Bhajanam Anangaranga Mangala Prasanga Bhangara Bhruvam Savibraman Sasambraman Dirganda Bhana Patanai Nirantara Vasikrita Prititi Nanda Nandane Kadakari Sasi Kripa Kataksha Bhajanam Champaka Pradipta Gora Vigrahe Mukha Prabha Parasta Koti Saradendu Manda Vichicha Chicha Chanchara Chakora Sovalochane Kadakari Sasiyamam Kripa Kataksha Bhajana Madan Madati Yovane Pramodamana Mandrite Priyanuraga Ranjite Kalavilasa Pandite Ananya Danya Kunjaraja Kamakeli Kovide Yadakari Sasihamam Kripa Kataksha Ashesha Hava Bhavadira Ira Harabushite Prabhuta Sata Kumbha Kumbha Kumbhi Kumbha Sustini Prasasta Mandahasya Chorna Purna Sokya Sagare Kadakari Sasiyamam Kripa Kataksha Mrinala Valla Vallari Taranga Ranga Dorlate Tatagra Lasya Lolana Lotan Loka Lokane Lalan Lulan Milan Manogya Mukta Mohanashite Kadakari Sasiyamam Kripa Kataksha Bhajanam Suvarna Mali Kanchita Trireka Kambu Kantake Shri Sucha Mangali Triratna Dipididiti Salola Nila Kuntala Prasuna Guchagu Gadakari Nitamba Bimbalamba Mana Pushpa Mukala Gune Sastaradna Kinkini Kalapa Marya Manjule Karindra Sundadandika Karo Asobhagarike Kadakari Shashi Kripa Kataksha Bhajana Aneka Manjana Manjunu Pararavaskalat Samaja Raja Hamsa Vamsa Nikmanati Gauravi Vilola Emavalaritam Vicharu Jankrame Kadakari Sasiham Pakataksharanam Anantakoti Vishnu Lokanam Ravarmajarchite Imaji Japulo Maja Virincha Javarafrade Apara Siddhi Redhi Dikta Sarpadangulina Ke Kadakari Makeshwari Kriyeshwari Sadeshwari Sareshwari Triveda Bharatishwari Pramana Sasaneshwari Rameshwari Kshemeshwari Pramona Kananeshwari Rajeshwari Prajaripe Shirarike Namostute Iti Mam Adbhutam Stavam Nisamya Bhanu Nandini Karotu Santatam Janam Kripa Kataksha Bhajanam Vaetadaiva Sanchita Chirupa Karmanashanam Vavetadam Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Jaya Radhe. Damodar has to come. Do you want to lead us on this one? I can try, I guess. Namamishwaram Darupam Lasa Kundalam Okule Brajamanam Yoluka Adhavamanam Padamristamantyan Tato Juta Gopya Rudantamurnecha Yugmanyajantam Karamboja Yugmena Satankanecha Mahoswasakampat Chirikankakanta Sita Gaivadamo Darambakivam Ichijik Salilapi Ananda Kunde Swago Samni Majan Tamakya Payanta Tadi Ye Sita Yeshu Bhaktirita Tvam Puna Prematastam Satavrita Vande Param Deva Moksham Namoksham Vadimba Nachanyam Vineham Arisadapiya Idam Teva Purnata Gopalabalam Sadame Manasya Sadam Sachidananda Rupam Rasakundalam Gokule Idam Temubhutam Bodham Avyakta Nilam Vritam Kuntalai Snigdha Raktascha Gopya Mohusham Vitam Bimba Rakta Dharame Manasya Virastam Alam Lakshalai Namo Devadamo Dharananta Vishnu Prasira Prabhu Dukkha Jabrimagna Kripajisti Vristyati Dinam Bhatanu Grihanesha Mamagya Edyakshirisya Kuveratmajo Badha Mortyaiva Yadva Tvayami Choto Bhakti Vadakyocha Tata Prema Bhakti Sakhamayachim Namokshagraho Misti Tamodareya Namaste Sudane Sporadhipti Dhamne Tariyodarayata Vishwasadhamne Namo Radhikaye Tvariya Priyaye Namo Radhikaye Tvariya Priyaye Namo Nantalilaye Devaya Namamishwaram Sachidananda Rupam Dasakundalam Gokule Brajamana Namamishwaram Sachidananda Rupam Dasakundalam Gokule Jaya Damodara Radha Damodara Damodara Radha Damodara Radha Damodara 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 Radha Damodara Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Jaya Radha Raman Bihari, Radha Raman Bihari Radhe, Jaya Radha Govinda, Radha Govinda Radhe, Radhe, Jaya Radha Damodara, Radha Damodara Radhe, Radhe, Jaya Vrindavana Dham, Jaya Vrindavana Dham, Vrindavana Dham, Jaya Vrindavana Dham, Jaya Vrindavana Dham, Jai Jai Radhe, Jai He Radhe, 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 Jai Radhe, Jaya Sachinandan, Jaya Gaurari, Sachinandan, Jaya Gaurari, Jaya Sachin. Jaya Gaurari, Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Jaya Guru, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gauda Haribo, 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 Nitai Gauda Haribo, Nitai Gauda Haribo, Gauda Premanandi.
Jai. Jnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaye Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namaha. Yam Pravajantam Anapeta Krityam Dvaipayano Viraka Taruva Juhava Putretri Tanmayatayo Taravo Banedush Tang Sarva Bhuta Hridayam Munimanatosmi Bhaktya Vahinaya Aparada Lakshai Chiptas Chakamadi Tarangamadye Kripa Maitwam Sharanam Papadyam Rinde Namaste Charanara Vrindam Tavevasmi Najivami Tambina Iti Vigyai Radhe Tam Nayanam Charanantike Angashamalim Chatabirabito Mandi Kritendi Varam Jadyam Jagurorochitam Vidadatam Patam Varasya Shriya Rindaranya Nivasinam Hirilasatam Abhiramodaram Radhaskanda Niveshito Jalabhujam Dhyaim Damodaram Dhyaim Damodaram. All together. Are we doing this one? Yeah. Kripa yati yati radha badita shesha bada kema paravishishtam pushti madara yorme yadi vadati chakinchit smera hasho ditashir Tvija varamani panktya mukti shuktya tadakim Shama sundara shikanda shekar smera hasa murali manohara Radhika Rasika Mama Kripa Nidhi Swapriya Charana Kinkarim Karu Prananata Vishabhanu Nandini Shri Mukhabja Rasalola Satpada Radhika Padatale Krita Stitim Tvam Bhajami Rasikendra Shekhar Samvidaya Dashane Chinam Vibho Parthaye Braja Mahendra Nandana Astu Mohana Tavati Balaba Janma Janmani Madishvari Priya. So first of all, I offer my heartfelt obeisances to my beloved Holy Master, Nitya Vishwam Vishnupad, Asota Sotri Shima Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj, and also unto Nitya Vishwam Vishnupad, Asota Sotri Shima Bhakti Vigan Bharti Goswami Maharaj, Nitya Vishwam Vishnupad, Asota Sotri Shima Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and our entire Rupanuga Guru Varga. Here we are. We're in Davin. Rajmandal Parikrama. Today is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, our 6th day. Going out, wandering in the Holy Land. So today we are going to embark to Niruvan and to 3 of the main 7 temples, Radha Gokulananda, Radha Raman, and Radha Gopinath. So first I'll ask Kadagraja Prabhu, he's going to speak something at Niruvan. Okay. First let's walk there. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Take the dust. Should I sit here? Go. Sure. Wherever. Om Gyan Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurube Namaha Vancha Kalpatarivyascha Kripa Sindhuvya Evacha Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. So we've come to Nidhuvan, and just what I'm going to recount is from the Brajmandal book and also from a lecture I was hearing Srila Gurudev speaking at this location. And he started to explain the meaning of Nidhuvan. He said Nidhi means a wealth. A wealth. And he said not a wealth like mukti, but a very sacred wealth. And he said Nidhu means Kishore and Kishori, topmost, lover, and beloved. So he began to continue to explain that this place of Nidhuvan, he said, is the topmost place. He said this is the highest place. And he said, I came here many times with my Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, which I thought was so special. He said, I came here many times with my Gurudev in this secluded forest grove. And he explained the reason why this place is such a special place is because it's so secluded. It's so private that it allows for the divine couple Radha and Krishna to be so free. And he said there's many groves here, and in different groves, different gopis are able to meet with Krishna there, including Srimati Radhika. And so it's described in many books like Govinda Lilamrita and other amazing high esoteric books from our 6 Goswamis that this is one of the locations of Radha and Krishna's nighttime pastimes. Nisha, during the night, or Nishanta Lila, the end of night pastimes. So oftentimes after they're dancing and having fun, everything they're doing at night, they take rest in a grove like Nidhuvan. And so in the early morning, many pastimes have been described in this location, that they're waking up and they don't want to separate from each other. And this Nishanta Lila is very dear to the Gaudiya Vaishnavas because it's totally in this Parakya mood. You know, they don't want to separate, but they have to separate. And no one knows that they're out there. It's a secret thing. And Srila Gurudev said that so many stuff like water and juices and altas and pastes and scents and everything is everywhere. Like that, he said, laying around everywhere in this place. And and then we also hear in our Mangal Arti song, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, glorifying and illuminating this place and revealing a darshan of this place, saying that the birds, the cuckoos, the parrots, the peacocks, they're all singing so sweetly, trying to wake up the divine couple on the arrangement of Vrinda Devi, knowing that time's clicking. And then the monkey, saying, Jatila is coming, like that. And he says, the Raga Nuga Bhaktas, and especially the eminent Rupa Nuga Rasik Bhaktas, relish the Nishanta Lila in their hearts while chanting the holy names of the Supreme Lord. And the others, unlimited pastimes, of course, everywhere in Radha and Krishna's Leela, but so many relevant, specific Rupa Nuga aspects, like sometimes they describe that the maidservants, they're checking their body to know what kind of services needs to be done to bring Radhika back into her house in a safe way, and so many things. And this Kunj Kirtan, of course. And then Gurudev goes on to explain a really interesting pastime that took place here that is written by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his commentary to Ujjvala Nilamani. We have it in the little yellow book. I'm forgetting the name right now. And I wanted to read this because I felt like my narration will not do it justice. But he says there in that yellow book, his commentary, that if we hear this pastime, then it will remove the doubt in the heart of the sadhaka that Radha and Krishna are separate from Mahaprabhu. It will wash away this doubt, so then one will see, okay, Mahaprabhu is Radha and Krishna. And this is at Nidhuvan. Once at the end of the night, while the divine couple Sri Radha Krishna were sleeping in a Kali Kunja of Nidhuvan, Sri Brishabhanu Nandini had an amazing dream. Upon waking, she woke her Pranabalab and said, "Beloved, I just had an amazing dream. In that dream, I saw an incomparable river, just like the Yamuna. Along that river, I saw a supremely charming bank, just like a bank of the Yamuna. On that bank, which resembled a grove in Vrindavan, I saw a wonderful golden-complexioned young man, singing and dancing very beautifully, being absorbed in an internal mood. He was carried away in dancing to the rhythm of the mridanga and kartals. That young youth was crying and uttering, 'O Krishna, O Krishna,' and sometimes he would utter, 'O Radha, where are you?' Sometimes he rolled on the ground, and sometimes he became unconscious. He freely distributed these sentiments of his to the living entities of the entire universe, from a blade of grass to Lord Brahma." I thought this part is so interesting and there's in such an intimate place, and they're speaking about his Adarya Leela in the material realm, "My beloved, upon seeing him, I began to think, who is this golden-complexioned youth? Am I that golden youth who is constantly crying and uttering, 'O Krishna, O Krishna'? And is the golden-complexioned youth crying out loud in a loud voice, 'O Radha, where are you? None else but you, Sri Krishna, the most beloved of my life?' Sri Krishna said, 'O my beloved, at different times I have given you darshan of Narayan and some of my other forms, yet you were never astonished. Who is this golden-complexioned youth? Is who bewildering your mind? I cannot say.' Speaking in this way, he began to smile." So he's like secretly implying it's me who, if it wasn't me, then how could he be so captivating to you? Radhika replied, "Pranabalaba, now I understand that this golden form is no one but you. No one other than you is able to infatuate me in this way." Krishna then showed Sri Radhika her dream in his Kastuba jewel, just as she had seen it. Srimati Radhika said, "In your childhood, the all-knowing Garga Rishi informed Nanda Baba that in the beginning of the forthcoming Kali Yuga, his son will appear as the golden-complexioned Gauranga. A prediction by Garga Rishi can never be false. Therefore, my dream must be true, and the golden youth I saw in the dream must, in fact, be you." Hearing this, Sri Krishna said, "Praneshwari, I will assume your golden complexion and the sentiments of your inner heart to appear in the form of Gauranga. I will thus personally relish your nectarian bhavs. At the same time, I will preach Rag Marg Bhakti through the chanting of the holy name of Hari. In fact, I will appear in the form of the most merciful Gauranga just to distribute divine love for me, which is rarely obtained. You will also appear on earth with me as my associate." Sri Radha Krishna thus gave an indication in this pastime of the future appearance of Sri Gaura. And here's another pastime he describes very quickly. "And Niruvan, Srimati Radhika, decorated in regal apparel, sat on a royal throne in a kunja. Sri Krishna, dressed as a police officer, protected the entrance of the kunja and the area within it. This pastime is called Rai Rajig Lila. The poets in the Gaudiya line have given delightful descriptions of this pastime." Amazing. So like I said, this is from Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explaining their morning. Srimati Radhika is called Swapna Vilas. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains it, Swapna Vilasamrita, the nectar of this dream that she had. And then it's also described that Vishaka Kund is there, that one time that when they were thirsty from doing rast, Krishna took his flute and manifested a beautiful pond so that they could have some fresh water. And then there's also this really nice pastime about this musician named Swami Haridas. It's described that his kirtan was so powerful and attractive that anyone who heard it, they were drawn to that music, And there was a king who heard about the glories of this kirtaniya, and he wanted him to play in his court. But they tried to get this Swami Haridas to play in the court, but he wouldn't. He wouldn't play in a royal venue. He said, "No, I just am doing my bhajan. I'm just singing for the pleasure of the Lord." And then, he said, Swami Haridas had firmly resolved to not entertain anyone but his deity. Yeah. So then this is what he devised to do. Therefore, one day, Emperor Akbar disguised himself as an ordinary man, and along with Tansen, that's Tansen had described his glories, came to Swami Haridas's hut in Niruvan. Tansen, who also was very expert in music, had purposely brought his veena along and now began to sing a sweet song. His singing enchanted Akbar. Swami Haridas then took the veena from the hands of Tansen and began to sing the same song, pointing out the errors that Tansen had made in singing it. See, he's expert. Swami Haridas's singing was so sweet and attractive that even the deers, birds, and other animals of the forest came to that spot, where they listened silently. Emperor Akbar's amazement knew no bounds. He was so pleased that he immediately wanted to present something to Swami Haridas. But the wise Tansen indicated to the emperor not to do so, as it would alter Haridas's mood. The samadhi of this great personality is still present in Niruvan. It's a nice, very instructive pastime for anyone who's trying to perform kirtan, that we're playing kirtan for Krishna, not for some other jiva or something like that, or our own prestige. And it's amazing that his voice was so amazing. Anyhow, so like I said, I thought it was amazing and fantastic that Srila Gurudev said, I came here many times with my Gurudev. This is the topmost place. And so we can take the dust of this place and offer our sincere prayers, put the dust on our head, heart, eyes, and tongue. Shri Niruvan ki jai.
Didn't Swami Haridas find Monkey Bihari there? Yeah? I hear a voice says yes. Jai. In a kund? Ah, yes. Wow. Wow. That's pretty special. Have any, before we head out, you have any commentary? Anything you remember Gurudev said?
Nobody goes there at night. No one should go at night.
Mm.
Either in Sevakunj or in Niruvan, these places, the locals don't go.
Let's drink.
You repeat it, that's all.
Okay.
Just repeat it, but I saw that some devotees were posting and I saw some devotees were going. So it must be they don't know or they didn't hear.
Mm.
Surely if they heard, they wouldn't go.
To not go to Sevakunj or Niruvan at night.
Some of the stories that people,
They go mad if they, right? I heard that.
There are stories, but we just
Sacred.
out of respect
Yeah.
for the confidential pastimes.
Mm. Niduvan. Yeah, Vrindavan. Jai. Niduvan ki jai. Okay, so we shall walk just a few feet down the gully to Sri Radharaman Temple, the famous Radharaman Temple, the darling of Vrindavan. Oh, why is Sharma Didi calling me? Haribol? Haribol? Yes. Right. Yes. Can't hear. Okay. Okay. All right, here we are. Radharaman Ki. Shri Radharaman Temple. Here's the entrance. Oh, actually, well, before we go into Radharaman, let's just go to the left, in the front, and the left, to the right, to Shri Gopal Bhatta Goswami's Samadhi. Or is Bhajan Kutir? Bhajan Kutir? Samadhi? Samadhi. And Bhajan Kutir. Yeah. Jai. Shri Gopal Bhatta Goswami Ki. Down. Circumambulate quickly 4 times. And now we go out, turn left, turn right, and here we are at Radharaman Temple. Okay, I'll read the Parikrama book and then we'll see where we go from there. Shri Radharaman is the deity of Shri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, the recipient of Sriman Mahaprabhu's mercy. Shri Bhatta Goswami initially served and worshipped as Shalagram Shila. Well, I guess we could back up a little bit. So yesterday we were in Balavan, and we heard that about Lakshmi Devi and how she's doing austerities there to be able to enter Ras. And when Mahaprabhu was in South India during Chaturmasya, he stayed during Chaturmasya at the house of Venkanta Bhatt, whose son is Gopal Bhatta Goswami. So Gopal Bhatta Goswami had a lot of association and mercy of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And his uncle is Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur, who we also went to his samadhi the other day, and we heard so much about him and how Rasik and how his beautiful prayers, how he's praying to the to the air that brings Radharani's fragrance across from Radhakund, and what else? How he's praying to be a broomstick that is sweeping the kunj, Radharani's kunj, and so many beautiful prayers. And so this is young Gopal Bhatta Goswami's association. So he wanted to go, after Mahaprabhu left South India, he wanted to go with him. He really wanted to go be with him and wherever he was going. And Mahaprabhu instructed him just to take care of your father, and after your parents leave, go to Vrindavan and be with Sri Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. So, which he did. So on his way there, he went to the Himalayas first, and there he was in a river, Gomati River, and there was some Shilas, and this one particular Shila was following him in the river, saying, "I want your service. Please serve me. Please serve me." So Gopal Bhatta Goswami, being astonished at this, he took this Shila and brought him to Vrindavan. So there, now he's there and he's worshipping this Shalagram Shila. Once he intensely desired to decorate his shalagram, to seat him on a swing and sway him back and forth, and to serve him in many ways like a deity. If only he had arms and legs like a deity, he thought. Does it say it here? I remember hearing Gurudev say that he was thinking, like the other, like Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami.
Deities had already manifested.
Yes. Yeah, he was seeing how the other deities had already manifested, and he was feeling the same way. I want to worship them like this. Prabhu is very kind to his devotees. To fulfill the desire of this bhakta, he transformed himself that very night into the attractive threefold bending form of Shri Radharaman.
So there's one detail there. Do you remember about the basket? He was sleeping under a tree. Remember that?
Oh, can you take the mic and just say it?
Okay. So at that time, Gopal Bhatta Goswami was usually sleeping under a tree, and at night he would put the Shalagram Shila in the basket and put him up in the tree, and then in the morning wake up and bring him down. That's all I wanted to say. So then in the morning, after Shalagramji was aware of this desire and transformed, then Gopal Bhatta Goswami brought the basket down in the morning and opened and saw.
Actually, he said it. Gurudev in here in this lecture says it was midnight. Where'd it go? Then at midnight, the Shalagram spoke to him. Oh, Gopal Bhatta, just see how beautiful I am. Gopal Bhatta got up and went to the deity and saw, oh, how beautiful, Radharaman. He had the face of Govindaji, the chest of Gopinath, and the feet of Madan Mohan. Jai. So Govinda, Gopinath, and Madan Mohan appeared in him, 3 in 1. Radharaman. Gopal Bhatta was so delighted to see this. He called all the Goswamis, who became amazed, thinking how glorious his bhakti was, that the Shalagram had changed into Radharaman. You can imagine what a first-class Vaishnav he was. He was not only a Vaishnav, but very near and dear to the divine couple, Shri Radha and Krishna. He is Gunamandri in Krishna's pastimes, and by his prayers, the Shalagram became Radharaman. Let's see what else. So in the Parikrama book, Gurudev says, if one has darshan of Sri Radharaman's back, one will see that it resembles a Shalagram Shila. Although the deity is only 12 finger widths tall, he is very attractive. By taking his darshan, one receives the benefit of taking darshan of all of these 3 deities, Govindaji, Gopinath, and Madan Mohan. According to the book Seva Prakatya, Radharaman manifested from the Shalagram Shila in Samvat 1543 AD. His Abhishek took place on Purnim in the month of Vaishakha, April-May, that same year. There's no deity of Sri Radha with Radharaman, but a Gomati chakra is worshipped on the altar to his left. According to an injunction in Sri Hari Bhakti Vilas, a Gomati chakra is to be worshipped along with a Shalagram Shila. Adjacent to the temple of Sri Radharaman to the south is the Samadhi of Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, where we just were, and the place where Radharaman appeared. Unlike other deities, Sri Radharaman never left Vrindavan. So when Aurangzeb came and attacked and all the deities left, Radharaman stayed. And let's see. Maybe I could show it later. Manjari from Canada just sent me the most beautiful. She made it. For a last darshan the other night, and sometimes a special flute player comes. Right, and there's so many musicians that come at night when they put him to rest.
And I was there, it was always the flute player.
Really?
Almost always.
They were saying, she said that lately they said he wasn't coming as much, but you see how they put him to sleep very sweetly, quietly, playing flute. So nice. And
we'll have that here too one day. For Radharaman.
yes,
Tell in the mic.
one day we will have that soon as well for Radharaman Bihari, Sacred Vedic Arts Bhakti Yoga Museum and Cultural Center. We'll have a flute player every night come while they're putting Radharaman Bihari Ji to bed. Anything else about Radharaman? I think that's it. I mean, yeah. I didn't hear.
That sometimes you can see his teeth, or like lines of his hands if there's very
sometimes there's very unusual markings either on his hands or you could see his teeth that he reveals. Jai, Shri Radharaman ki, Shri Gopal Bhatta Goswami ki, Jai. Okay, we'll just take another few minutes. We'll come out and we'll turn. Well, first, everyone pay their pranams. Oh, and we got to get Maha, the best Maha. What's that called? The little pot? Some koha? Yeah. Wow. And Radharaman doesn't take chili or potatoes, right? Or tomatoes. Yeah, I've had. I go. I somehow. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. So at Vishnu Priya Goswami, it's a little side note, who was on the panel at MDC. She's Goswami from the Radharaman temple. Her grandfather, Srivatsa Goswami, is is the prominent Goswami there, and he was actually on the Zoom. Yeah, it was really cool. So, Jai, Sacred Vedic Arts ki Jai. Okay, so when we'll come out and we'll turn right in just a few feet is the temple of Radha Vinod and Radha Gokulananda. So let's go there. Hare Krishna, Radha Radha Gokulananda Radha. Jaya Radha Gokulananda Radha Gokulananda Radhe. Jaya Radha Vinoda Radha Vinoda Radhe. Jaya Sachinandan Jaya Gaura Hari. Sachinandan Jaya Gaura Hari. Jai, here we are. Where's the entrance? Radha Gokulananda. I thought there'd be a picture. So before we go in to see Radha Gokulananda, we'll turn left and we'll go. There's a beautiful Samadhi courtyard with Srila Lokanath Das Goswami and Srila Vishwanath Charita Thakur, Sri Narottam Das Thakur, Ganga Narayan Chakravarti. And we can circumambulate them 4 times. Let me see, I think there's a picture here. Nope. Tomorrow or Monday I'll be on it with more pictures. Ah, yes, and it's always quiet. There's never anyone there. Almost. Like on the off season, not during Kartik. Okay. So before the arrival, now we can go into the temple and see Shri Radha Gokulananda, Radha Vinod. And before the arrival of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Vrindavan, Shri Lokanath Goswami and Shri Bhugarbha Goswami came here. They were like best friends. Gurudev said they were so close that they looked alike. Being very humble and without any possessions, akinchan, they performed bhajan at the many pastime places in Braj Mandal. Shri Lokanath Goswami found the deity of Shri Radha Vinod in Kishori Kund in Umrao Gaon. We'll go there next week, soon. Near Chatravan and served them there. Later, on the request of Rupa, Sanatan, and the other Goswamis, he brought his worshipable Shri Radha Vinod to Vrindavan and began to worship them near the temple of Shri Radharaman. Nowadays, the original deity that was worshipped by Shri Lokanath Goswami is in Jayapur, and the Pratibhu Vigraha is worshipped in that same temple in Vrindavan. Shri Gokulananda, who appeared at Radhakund through Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, also arrived in this temple later on. And also here, very special, is the Govardhan Shila, given by Sriman Mahaprabhu to Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. Do you want to say anything about that Shila? There's a thumbprint, Mahaprabhu's thumbprint, in the Shila. And why did he give that Shila to Das Goswami? And it's drawing a blank. I know it's in the. On Das Goswami's disappearance day.
So after Srila Raghunath Das Goswami was finally able to permanently leave home and obtain the association of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri, for a couple of years his vairagya kept developing. More and more intense vairagya was naturally developing. And then when it got to the point where he was no longer begging from anybody anything, and he was no longer accepting any free prasadam from the food distribution booths, and then it got to the point where he was taking the rejected rotten rice that was all slimy and so stinky that cows wouldn't even eat it. So he, with great ecstasy, would take that rice and wash it. And then the center, that whatever was left in the center of the grains, he would just eat that. And anyway, at this point, he was hearing about all of this from Swarup Damodar, and Govinda Das Mahaprabhu was hearing, and he became so pleased with Raghunath Das Goswami's renunciation that he inspired in the heart. Two things happened. I just read this the other day in Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Lila. So it was at that point that Mahaprabhu, he had been worshipping this Shila. Sometimes Mahaprabhu would keep it on his head, sometimes to his heart, sometimes on his eyes while he was weeping. And then he also had a gunja berry mala that he was worshipping along with this Giriraj. So then he decided that he was so pleased he wanted to give this Giriraj Shila to Raghunath Das Goswami, and at the same time he awakened within the heart of Raghunath Das Goswami the desire and the devotional service mood to serve Giriraj. And so it was a beautiful reciprocation, and then he gave Das Goswami all the instructions how to worship Giriraj, and Swarup Damodar and Govinda Das also assisted and supported him. Is that enough detail? Yeah. And he could understand when Mahaprabhu gave him this Giriraj that he was giving him a transcendental permanent residence in Govardhan, and that he was giving him the direct shelter of Radha and Krishna in the form of this Giriraj and the Gunjamala. And then his internal bhajan, according to the way the pastime is unfolding, he's an eternal associate, but it was at this point when he began to, in his Acharya Lila, unfold his internal bhajan in a deeper way.
Thanks. So it's so Brajmandal Parikrama, I love Kartik time because we hear so many like all the relationships between like the family, the Goswamis and all the different acharyas, how they're connected, and also their Thakurjis. Like it's not a what's the word? It's not a light thing that how they've manifested, and Thakurji Tattva is so, as Sharmadiji was a little bit going into, she wanted to get into Shakshi Gopal, but then it was getting late. But even though Shakshi Gopal is in South India, just how Thakurji are talking, and she always says, like, when the temple's a mess, we don't, it's for them, and they're looking, they're seeing, they're looking, they're thinking, why do they want to look at a messy temple room, or, they're coming off the altar and walking around, and they're seeing how we're leaving things. But all of their, we just now hearing the Sheila becoming Radha Raman, and we'll go to Umrao soon, but I love the Leela. I'll just mention it now a little bit. When Bhagarba Goswami finds Vinod, and he's naked, he's been in this pond, and he's like wanting to make him some cloth, and then Thakurji tells him, Vinod tells him, I'm hungry. Why are you sewing for me? Feed me. So they're so reciprocal, and it's nice for my own self, because sometimes I think, okay, I'm a Narti and I'm just standing there, and, but to really pray and noticing that this reciprocation, we see, I'm sure the cooks and the pujaris, it's like there's so much reciprocation. Sorry.
And just that archan is one of,
Archan is very essential for our development in bhakti. Yeah.
in Vaidhi and in Raganuga.
In both Vaidhi and Raganuga bhakti. Jai. So there's not detail here about Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur finding Gokulananda. It says Gokulananda appeared in Radhakund. The original deity of Sri Gokulananda is also now situated in Jaipur with Sri Radha Vinod. And what a Rasik, exalted Acharya our Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is. We know he's given us so much nectar and Prem Samput and Chamakar Chandrika and Srila Gurudev's Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Sarta Darshini, and there's a whole long list of his Madhuri Kandamani. And he actually through Madhuri, my co-panda here. Can you tell about how he manifests through Baladeva Jibusan, the Govinda Bhasya, that because because the king, actually I have it, I have to find it. Oh yes, okay, here we go. Jai Singh. Yes. When Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur was very old, he spent most of the time in a semi-conscious state, deeply absorbed in bhajan. At that time, in the state of Jaipur, a debate broke out between the Gaudiya Vaishnavas and other Vaishnavas who supported the doctrine of Swakiyavad, marital love. Jai Singh II was the king of Jaipur. The Vaishnavas of the antagonistic camp led Jai Singh to believe that the worship of Srimati Radhika, along with Sri Govindadev, was not supported by Sastra. Their contention was that Srimati Radhika's name was not mentioned anywhere in Srimad Bhagavatam or the Vishnu Purana, and that she was never legally married to Krishna, according to Vedic rituals. Another objection was that the Gaudiya Vaishnavas did not belong to a recognized line of disciplic succession, Sampradaya. There are but 4 lines of Vaishnava disciplic succession which have descended from time immemorial: the Sri Sampradaya, Brahma Sampradaya, Ruja Sampradaya, and Sanat Kumar Sampradaya. In the age of Kali, the principal acharyas of these 4 sampradayas are, respectively, Sri Ramanuja, Sri Madhva, Sri Vishnu Swami, and Sri Nimbaditya. The Gaudiya Vaishnavas were thought to be outside of these 4 sampradayas and were not accepted as having a pure lineage. In particular, the Gaudiya Vaishnavas did not have their own commentary on the Brahma Sutra. Therefore, they could not be accepted as a bona fide line of Vaishnava disciplic succession. At that time, Maharaj Jai Singh, knowing the prominent Gaudiya Vaishnava acharyas of Vrindavan to be followers of Srila Rupa Goswami, summoned them to Jaipur to take up the challenge with the Vaishnavas from the line of Sri Ramanuja. Because he was very old and immersed in the transcendental bliss of bhajan, Sri Chakravarti Thakur sent his student, Gaudiya Vaishnava Vedanta Acharya Maha Mahopadhyay, the great one among great teachers, Pandit Kula Mukut, the crown of the assembly of learned scholars, Shripad Baladev Vijayabhusan, to Jayapur along with his disciple Sri Krishna Dev in order to address the assembly. The caste Goswamis had completely forgotten their connection with the Madhva Sampradaya. And in addition to this, they were disrespectful to the Vaishnava Vedanta and created a great disturbance for the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Srila Baladev Vijayabhusan, by his irrefutable logic and powerful scriptural evidence, proved that the Gaudiya Sampradaya was a pure Vaishnava Sampradaya coming in the line of Madhva. The name of this Sampradaya is the Sri Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. Our previous acharyas like Srila Jiva Goswami, Kavi Karnapur, and others accepted this fact. The Sri Gaudiya Vaishnavas accept Srimad Bhagavatam as the natural commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. For this reason, no separate commentary on the Vedanta Sutra was written in the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. In various Puranas, the name of Srimati Radhika is mentioned. She is the personification of the Ladini, pleasure-giving potency, and the eternal beloved of Sri Krishna. In several places of the Srimad Bhagavatam, and specifically in the 10th canto, in connection with the description of Braj Leela, Srimati Radhika is mentioned in a very concealed manner. Only Rasik and Bhavuk Bhaktas, who are conversant with the conclusions of Sastra, can understand this confidential mystery. In the learned assembly in Jayapur, Baladev Vijayabhusan refuted all the arguments and doubts of the opposing party. He solidly established that the Gaudiya Vaishnavas were following in the line of disciplic succession descending from Madhva, as well as the authenticity of the worship of Radha Govinda. The opposition was silenced by his presentation. Nonetheless, because the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya did not have a commentary on the Vedanta Sutra, the contesting party did not accept them as being a pure line of Vaishnava disciplic succession. Sri Baladev Vijayabhusan then wrote the famous Gaudiya commentary on the Brahma Sutra named Sri Govinda Bhasya. Overnight. Didn't he say Govindaji was dictating and he was writing? Once again, the worship of Sri Sri Radha Govinda began in the temple of Sri Govinda Dev, and the validity of the Sri Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya was accepted. It was only on the authority of Srila Chakravarti Thakur that Sri Baladev Vijayabhusan Prabhu was able to write the Govinda Bhasya and prove the connection of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas with the Madhva Sampradaya. There should be no doubt in this regard. This accomplishment of Srila Chakravarti Thakur, done on behalf of the Sampradaya, will be recorded in golden letters in the history of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. So, more Vishnu Thakur? How about the E? Tells about the Kam Gayatri, and he couldn't find that other syllable. Keep reading? Because I can't tell it without reading. Oh, what about when why were the dacoits after him? Oh, it's not in this, but I think it might be in Bhagavad Gita, actually. And then he shows his Manjari form. They're like, have you seen? I'm just picking flowers for my Swamini. Oh, here. Okay, found it. Okay. Reestablishing the doctrine of Parikrama. When a slight decline in the influence of the 6 Goswamis in Sri Vrindavan took place, a controversy arose around the doctrines of wedded love, Swakiyavad, versus paramour love, Parakiyavad. To dispel misconceptions regarding Swakiyavad, Srila Chakravarti Thakur wrote Ragvartmachandrika and Gopi Premamrita, both of which are replete with scriptural philosophical conclusions. Thereafter, in his Ananda Chandrika commentary on the verse from Shri Ujjwala Nilamani, Lagutvam Atra Yat Proktam, he showed that the theory of Swakiya was fallacious, and he established the conception of Parakiya with scriptural evidence and irrefutable arguments. Further, in his Sharartha Darshani commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam, he gave strong support to Parakiya above. Once, certain scholars opposed the conclusions of Srila Chakravarti Thakur on worship in the mood of Parakiya. When he defeated them with superior erudition and sound reasoning, they resolved out of envy to kill him. They knew that Srila Chakravarti Thakur used to circumambulate Vrindavan every day, early each morning, so they hid in a dark, dense grove and waited for him to walk by. As his adversaries watched him approach, he suddenly disappeared, and in his place, a beautiful young girl of Braj appeared, picking flowers with her friends. The scholars asked the girl, "Dear child, just a moment ago a great devotee was coming this way. Did you see where he went?" The girl replied that she had seen him, but she did not know where he had gone. Her astonishing beauty, gentle smile, graceful manner, and sidelong glances captivated the scholars. Their hearts melted, and all the impurities in their minds were vanquished. Wow. They asked the girl who she was, and she replied, "I am a maidservant of Srimati Radhika. She is presently at her in-laws' house at Yavat, and she sent me here to pick flowers." Having spoken thus, the girl disappeared, and in her place the scholars saw Srila Chakravarti Thakur once again. They fell at his feet and prayed for forgiveness, and he forgave them all. There are many such astonishing occurrences. I don't know, but possibly they became his disciples. How can they not? There are many such astonishing occurrences in the life of Srila Chakravarti Thakur. In this way, Srila Chakravarti Thakur refuted the theory of Swakiya and established the truth of pure Parakiya, an achievement of great import for the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur not only protected the integrity of the Sri Gaudiya Vaishnava Dharma, but he also re-established its influence in Sri Vrindavan. Anyone who evaluates this accomplishment will be struck with wonder at his uncommon genius. Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas have composed the following verse in praise of his extraordinary work. Vishwasho Natarupa So Bhakta Vartma Pradarshanat Bhakta Chakre Vartitarvat Chakravartyakya Bhavat. He is named by the known Vishwanath, Lord of the universe, because he indicates the path of bhakti. And he is known as Chakravarti, or he around whom the circle or assembly turns, because he always remains within the assembly, chakra. Pointing to, wow. He always remains within the assembly, chakra, of pure devotees. Therefore, his name is Vishwanath Chakravarti. In about 1754, on the 5th day of the light phase of the moon in the month of Magh, January-February, when Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur was around 100 years old, he left this material world in Vrindavan deeply absorbed in internal consciousness. His samadhi stands today next to the temple of Sri Sri Radha Gokulananda in Sri Dham, Vrindavan.
Do we have time to add a couple of things?
Of course.
If I may, and correct me if I'm wrong. Without going into too much detail, I was just reflecting on what you read, Vasanti. It just said some Vaishnavas were against Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's preaching of Parakya Vad, which he was establishing. So those Vaishnavas, what it was is that they were seeing some difference between what Jiva Goswami was teaching and what Rupa Goswami was teaching. They couldn't reconcile and they thought it was different, and they were taking the side of their idea of what Jiva Goswami's teachings was. So Srila Gurudev, the bottom line is, without getting into too many details that are beyond my comprehension anyhow, but the point that Srila Gurudev would make, which I found very important to remember, is that we should never try to separate any Vaishnav from Guru Parampara, that they have some separate conception than the whole rest of the lineage. Whether it's Jiva Goswami or our Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada or any of our acharyas. And you can only understand one pure devotee by other pure devotees. So whatever Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has said was to reconcile. He explained how Jiva Goswami wasn't different at all from Rupa Goswami and was actually saying the same thing, and there was some purpose of some statements that he made for some people to encourage them in their bhakti because they couldn't accept the idea of Parakiyavad. But Jiva Goswami himself says, as far as my personal opinion, is the same as Rupa Goswami, that this is, so I just wanted to remember this beautiful point from Srila Gurudev, that if we want to truly honor one acharya, we'll have to reconcile their teachings in a way that is in line with our sampradaya, and we can only reconcile if we are in constant guidance and shiksha of other pure Vaishnavas who can help harmonize all of our doubts and questions about why one acharya said or did one thing and another one said what looks to us like different. So we have to hear properly under guidance. Hare Krishna. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur ki jai. And all our acharyas are harmonizers. They always harmonize all of these beautiful points of Siddhanta, Rasa and Tattva Siddhanta from generation to generation. Hari Bol.
Hard to understand.
And to this day, it's not only hundreds of years
Right.
ago. To this day in Vrindavan, there are contemporary scholars doing the same thing.
Yes.
Jiva Goswami and Rupa Goswami, or not accepting Bhakti-vinod,
Right.
separating out one acharya. So we should be careful.
Careful not to separate our acharyas. Yeah, it's so interesting, like, not to go off on a tangent, and I don't really have the audio card to speak on it, so I'm just not speaking on it, but I'm just touching that when I used to read this book, like when I was young, like when I was with Gurudev, I was young. And when we go to Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur's Samadhi, and then there's like just one line in here when Gurudev says, oh, some people think he's the same as Prakashananda Saraswati, but he's not. And I was like, I was kind of like, who cares? And like, why did he put that in there? And then now, like 22 years later, in my time, or being with Gurudev, then all of a sudden, this popped up. Like after the Charya leaves, it becomes, everything goes in a way, and discretion is harder. And so people, there's so many people will go, oh, I'll go here for this person, he's speaking Vlakushmanjali, or speaking Gobagio, so pretty. And so, and they go, and so there was this came up of someone that people are hearing from saying that they're the same person. I'm like, oh, that's why Gurudev put that sentence in. But 20 years ago when I read it, I was like, yeah, who cares? I mean, obviously everything she grew, what's the significance? Not who cares, because everything she grew, I mean, I have faith, whatever he says is bona fide and important. But at that time, it was, so like just to what you're explaining, how important it is to not separate our charges and to be under guidance and following. Okay, we have one more temple to go to, and Shigopinath. Is there any time for Gopinath Mama Nivedana Shuno? I don't know. What time is it? 11:45? 10? Yeah? Well, we only get one more week of you. Well, make sure we walk there first and sing while we're there. So we're gonna Jai Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda ki, Jai Shri Shri Radha Vinod ki, Jai Shri Govardhan Shila, Mahaprabhu Shila Das Goswami ki, Shila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur ki Jai, Lokanath Goswami ki Jai. Who else is there? Narottam Das Thakur ki Jai. We'll come out, turn left, walk down, and then we'll turn left again. And then on our left is Shri Shri Radha Gopinath, beautiful temple.
Can you describe the Thakurji first? Tell about
Sure. Oh. Okay. So here's Shri Shri Radha Gopinath. Yeah, he's so cute. This is such a fascinating story, or Leela, actually. So, Shri Gopinath, which we heard a little bit yesterday, how he was found by at Vamsivat. Close to the famous Vamsivat, on the bank of the Jamuna, Shri Paramananda Bhattacharya and Madhu Pandit used to worship Shri Radha and Krishna Yugal with extreme renunciation. Once, the current of the Jamuna cut into her bank, and a very beautiful deity of Shri Gopinath was revealed from under the sand. And it's so interesting, also Tota Gopinath, who Mahaprabhu entered, he also, was it him or he told Gadadhar Pandit to go dig in the sand? Or did he personally, Mahaprabhu, dig in the sand? Mahaprabhu, right? Yes, Mahaprabhu, yeah, they just dug in the sand, and then there was this deity of Tota Gopinath. Oh, he gave then to Gadadhar Pandit to worship. And then Mahaprabhu, and he in his Leela of leaving this world, he just entered into the Tota Gopinath deity. So in the morning, when the devotee Paramananda came to the Jamuna to bathe, he found this exceptional deity who stole his heart. He entrusted the service of Shri Gopinath to Shri Madhu Pandit. First, Shri Gopinath resided near Vamsivat, but later on a magnificent new temple was constructed elsewhere, and his service and worship continued there. Once, Nityananda Prabhu's wife, Janava Thakurani, came to Vrindavan. As she was having darshan of Shri Radha Gopinath, she thought that the deity of Radhika was too small, and that if Radhika had been a little taller, the couple would look much more beautiful. Janava Thakurani returned to her residence after beholding the evening ceremony. That night, in a dream, Shri Gopinath asked Janava to arrange for a taller deity of Shri Radhika. She received similar instructions from Srimati Radhika and had a deity of her made that was a more appropriate size for the deity of Gopinath. The book Bhaktamala describes that at the time of Janava Thakurani's disappearance, she revealed her own deity and established herself in it. She instructed the priests to install the deity of her in the chamber of Sri Gopinath. When this deity arrived at the temple of Gopinath in Vrindavan, the priest hesitated to install her alongside Sri Gopinath. And then at that time, Sri Gopinathji himself instructed the priests, "Do not hesitate. This is my beloved Ananga Mandri. Place her on my left and Radhika on my right." And so it came to be that Janava stands on Sri Gopinath's left side and Radhika on his right. So it's very mystical. That's the only time I've ever heard that Radharani would be on Krishna's right side. During the oppression of Aurangzeb, the original deities of Gopinath, Radhika, and Janava also proceeded to Jaipur together with other deities. The Pratibhu Vigrahas now preside in the temple built by Nanda Kumar Vasu. Janava Thakurani is seated on the left side of Gopinath, and Lalita Saki and a small deity of Radhika are seated on his right. And then in another chamber, there's a deity of Mahaprabhu. In 1632, the original temple was built by Roy Singh, the son of the king of Bikaner, Maharaj Kalyanamala of the Rathore dynasty. Aurangzeb destroyed this temple, The Pratibhu Vigrahas were established in 1748 AD, and the new temple was built in 1819 AD. Near the new temple, to the east, is the Samadhi of Madhu Pandit. So just behind the Gopinath temple, there's a very big Samadhi. It's really powerful. So, yeah, we can recite his prayer here. Shiman Rasar Sarambi Vamsi Vata Tatastitaha Karshan Venu Swanir Gopir Gopinata Shriyostinaha. And he pray for his mercy, as Gopinathji is our Prayojan deity, right? Anything else before we sing? Jai Shri Radha Gopinath Ki.
Mama nivedana suno Gopinath. Mama nivedana suno. Do you know how to turn on the effects a little bit or no? Mama nivedana suno Gopinath. Mama nivedana suno. Mama nivedana suno Gopinath. Mama nivedana suno. Mama nivedana suno. Mama nivedana. Gopinath amara bharasa tumi. Gopinath amara bharasa. Tomar charane loinu sharan. Tomara kinkarami. Tomara charane. Gopinath ke mone shodhibe more. Ke mone shodhibe. Na jane bhakati karme jadamati. Padechi sangsar ghore. Na jane bhakati karme jadamati. Gopinath sakali tomar maya. Gopinath sakali tomara. Nahi mama bala gyala sunirmala. Swadina nahe kaya. Gopinath niyata charana sthana. Gopinath mage pamarak kandiya kandiya. Koro he karuna dana. Mage pamarak Gopinath, Gopinath, Gopinath. Tumi to sakali paro. Tumi to sakali paro. Durjane tarite tomara shakati. Ke ache papir ara. jane tarite Gopinath tumi kripa parabara Gopinath tumi kripa par জীবের কারালে আসিয়া প্রপঞ্চে লীলা কইল সুবিস্তার লীলা কইল সুবিস্তার জীবের কারালে আসিয়া প্রপঞ্চে লীলা কইল সুবিস্তার লীলা কইল সুবিস্তার গোপীনাথ আমি কি দোষের দোষী আমি কি দোষের আমি কি দোষের দোষী असुर सकल पाइल चरण असुर सकल पाइल चरण असुर सकल पाइल चरण असुर सकल विनोद থাকিল বসি বিনোদ থাকিল বসি असुर सकल पाइल चरण विनोद থাকিল বসি विनोद থাকিল गोपीनाथ मम निवेदन सुनो गोपीनाथ मम निवेदन सुनो मम निवेदन सुनो गोपीनाथ मम निवेदन सुनो गोपीनाथ मम निवेदन सुनो गोपीनाथ मम निवेदन सुनो मम निवेदन सुनो मम निवेदन गोपीनाथ मम निवेदन सुनो मम निवेदन सुनो मम निवेदन राधा गोपीनाथ राधा गोपीनाथ राधा गोपीनाथ राधा गोपीनाथ जय राधा गोपीनाथ राधा गोपीनाथ राधे जय राधा गिरिधरी राधा गिरिधरी राधे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय नित्यानंद शक्ति जय जानव देवी नित्यानंद शक्ति जय जानव देवी गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल Shri Brajamandal Parikrama ki jai. Parikrama Palan Kari Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Pad ki jai. Baladev Vidyabhushan Prabhu ki jai. Who else? Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami ki jai. Narottam Das Thakur ki jai. Anything else? Madhu Pandit ki jai. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Thank you so much, Vasanti. Thank you so much, Vasanti Didi, for leading such a beautiful parikrama. And to Srimati Shamarani Didi facilitating all the Vaishnavas here. Hare Krishna.